Good morning, welcome to CATEX-TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. This is a live broadcast from Princeton, New Jersey. Today is Monday, June 22nd, the first official full day of summer, 2009. It's 11:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time in the U.S. It's 4:30 p.m. in London. In Mexico City, it's 9:30 a.m. If you need to reach us during the broadcast, you can phone in toll-free at 1-866-67-CATEX. Overseas, our AOL Instant Mail address is CATEX-TV. On this day in history, 68 years ago today, on June 22, 1941, troops of the German Army of the Wehrmacht jumped off heading eastward on a 1,500-mile front, stretching all the way in the north from the Baltic Sea to the Black Sea in the south, in a prolonged campaign against the Soviet Union. The operation, codenamed Operation Barbarossa, would eventually result 46 months later in the complete destruction of Germany, with the advent of the Russian army coming westward at great speed, destroying Berlin. Be careful what you wish for. Now to our main news. Another be careful what you wish for. Iran is still a tinderbox. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard today has threatened to crush further protests over the country's disputed June 12th presidential elections. Footage and news of what's going on in Iran is becoming increasingly more difficult to obtain. Websites are down, cell phone service is off, Twitter is disconnected periodically, and it's quickly rigged back up via alternative routes. However, one site that's not down is the website of the Revolutionary Guards. A statement posted there this morning said that the Revolutionary Guards would not hesitate to confront illegal rallies organized by supporters of Hossein Mousavi, the defeated reformist presidential candidate. The site said, at the current sensitive situation, the Guards will firmly confront in a revolutionary way rioters and those who violate the law. The capital of Tehran is now faced with a brimming kind of situation. Over 19 people are reported dead there. There are street disturbances right now, from what we can see. Over the weekend, clashes between police and anti-government protesters left at least 15 people dead, more than 100 wounded. The death total is at least 19. Last night, Sunday night to Monday night, gunfire was heard in Tehran, although the state TV reported the city calm as of this morning. However, as of today, there were at least 1,000 people reported in downtown Revolutionary Square. As I say, information is getting increasingly difficult to obtain from what's going on there. The foreign correspondents are all being kept in a hotel and not allowed out. In some more news from insurance and reinsurance, the largest Lloyd's merger and acquisition deal since Catlin's acquisition of Wellington is going to take place if Chaucer's board recommends an all-share offer made by rival Brit Insurance. We've been seeing this, drumbeats of this, for quite some time now. The offer would see Chaucer shareholders owning about 29% of the new business, which would be worth about £850 million at today's market caps. As part of the offer, which would only be valid, of course, if it's recommended by Chaucer's board, Brit would offer 0.23 new Brit shares for every existing Chaucer share. So in a statement this morning to the London Stock Exchange, Chaucer said its board is, quote, currently discussing the terms of the proposed offer with a number of Chaucer shareholders. It said in the meantime, the board recommends that its shareholders take no action. We'll, of course, be reporting on this, see if anybody else jumps up, i.e. Validus, or a la Validus, I should say, maybe not Validus. AM Best has come out with some information regarding broker rankings, and it says that the multi-billion-dollar global insurance brokerage business has held steady for the most part in 2008. Best's annual global insurance brokers list ranks the top 20 by their 2008 brokerage revenue. It's featured in this week's issue of Best Week. This year, for the first time, the ranking was based solely on each broker's primary insurance placement business. Non-retail placements, reinsurance, wholesale, managing general agent, and others are excluded. This new criteria led to changes in the top 20. Aon, Marsh, and Willis hold the top 3 spots, but also coming up to the top 5 this year was Arthur J. Gallagher, along with Jardine Lloyd Thompson. JLT had been in 2007's 6th place spot. We'll wait and see for the reinsurance rankings, which should be a little bit later in the summer. Some other news: Zurich Insurance Company has been granted a license that will allow it to expand its Middle East activities and conduct general insurance operations, including facultative re, from the Dubai International Financial Center. Zurich will focus on complex and difficult-to-place insurance risks, assisting local insurers and large corporate customers. In a statement from Zurich, the company said its decision was due to the growing dependence and self-reliance of the Middle East insurance market. Zurich intends to use its base at the Dubai Insurance Center as the hub from which to further expand its presence in the Middle East. They're going to be having a senior, fully empowered underwriting team based in the region as soon as possible. And in London, Sir Richard Branson is making some news. The billionaire owner of Virgin Atlantic says that he's ordering 10 new Airbus A330s. He also urged the UK government not to bail out British Airways. He had a press conference, an impromptu press conference at Heathrow International Airport. He announced that he's agreed to buy 6 A330 airplanes as well as lease 4 more. These are all for routes from the U.S. and U.S. to England and the U.S. and England to the Caribbean. Branson said he has no plans to bid for BA because, quote, it has too many liabilities and no paper value. He said if they do go bust, the government should just let them go bust. Just because they were once the flag carrier doesn't mean that the government should come in here and bail them out. British Airways fell as much as 8.5% in London trading, the biggest drop in a month. Their CEO, Willie Walsh, is cutting jobs and curbing pay. This is after the airline reported a $617 million loss for the 12 months ending March 31st. According to Branson, Willie Walsh is saying they're in for a fight for survival. He's asking his staff to work for a month without pay. These are obviously fairly desperate measures. When he was asked if BA would survive the slump, he said, "I really don't know." For BA's part, they say they have no intention of seeking aid from the UK government. The stock market in the U.S. is down about 148 points now as we go to a word from our sponsors. The Associated Press is reporting that Britain is evacuating